right to the money, even as their town sinks further into debt.
Stuart Varney joins us live. Stuart, it was big news when the people went to the ballot boxes and said, we can't afford this anymore. So it shouldn't be a surprise that the unions, looking out for their own good and their members, should sue them.
Look, this is happening all across the country. The people have spoken. Hey, you gotta trim those lavish pensions. The unions turn around and say, but wait a second, you promised to pay.
A deal's a deal.
You've got to pay. A deal is a deal. Problem is, if they do pay, then you've got to cut education and health services to the absolute bone and beyond, or some of these towns and cities are going to declare bankruptcy. It is that simple.
And then the deals that they had are no longer applicable.
If it goes to bankruptcy court, then the pensions are off anyway. So the unions are actually pushing people towards bankruptcy. That's what's going on.
The math is pretty staggering. The pension costs have soared in the past decade from $73 million to $245 million. And now the pension costs that they pay out outpace the revenue that they take in, obviously.
Well, what particularly annoyed people in, like, San Jose, for example, was that retired city police officers and firefighters, their average pension is over $90,000 a year, plus free health care, essentially, for the rest of their lives, plus a huge check when they do retire to make up for lost vacation and sick pay.
But those are deals that their towns, said that would be waiting for that. A deal is a deal. But you've got some stats on how much various people across the country owe per person, which is pretty astounding.
If you take the very, very big picture, the state pension funds are underfunded to the tune of $4 trillion. If you zero in on the city of Chicago, every man, woman, and child in that city owes, just for the pensions in Chicago, $9,000 each. That's it. And if you extrapolate out to the whole state, every single man, woman, and child in Chicago owes $15,000 for the pensions for the entire state.
It's
not
Illinois.
payable, okay?
Wow.
Not payable.
Back to California for a second. I believe we may have a live shot of their debt clock that you might be able to see ticks up all the time, just like our national debt. Well, there you go. I mean, they have to do, unfortunately, they're in the red.
Well, everywhere's getting a debt clock. Chicago's got its own debt clock. California's got a debt clock. The federal government's got a debt clock. It's the same story all over the place. Are we going to pay? Answer, no, we can't pay. That's it.
It's like that moment in the movie Network. People are mad as heck, and they're not going to take it anymore.
We're there.
All right.
Yell out the window on your way out.
Thank you, Mr. Beal. We'll be watching you in the form of Stuart Varney over at Varney & Company exactly 2 hours from now on Fox Business.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next on the rundown, the Postal